Hello everyone and welcome to another of our UCL fantasy video. Match day 3 is looming over us. The international break is finally over and all the league football and Champions League football is back. And with that, their respective fantasies are also back. Now, starting off, I have played the wildcard this week. I wasn't happy with my team. I thought, especially the midfield looked very thin. The defense was okayish, but I did not have any Bayern assets in my team. And the way Bayern are playing in the league and in the Champions League, I mean, it looks like they have got their form back in which they were 2 seasons ago when they won the Champions League. I mean, it doesn't seem like they had a managerial change or something. So I wanted to, and Bayern have Benfica against them. So I think they will run riot. So I wanted to target that and bring in band players and many others too. So I decided that this is a good moment for me to play the wild card. So I will just go through my team at first briefly. I have Haaland, Lukaku, and Lewandowski at the front. In midfield, I have Martin, Sane, Traore, and Grealish. In defense, I have Delict, Aspilicueta, and Munir. In goal, I have Bono. In the bench, I have Dest, Sule, Mendes, and Kamavinga. Now, I am still not exactly happy with the midfield. This team is almost finalized, almost. The only change that I may look to make is shifting out Lukaku. Lukaku hasn't scored for a lot of matches. But then again, they are facing Malmo in the next two matches, so that is like really tempting me. Malmo, I mean, haven't been that great in the Champions League, and I'm expecting Chelsea to score many goals. So that's why, although Lukaku has been on this gold rut, I still want to keep him. I mean, he has been in this gold rut only for Chelsea. He scored a brilliant goal for Belgium in the Nations League. So it just proves that like if he gets the chance, he will score. Chelsea have been missing key players in the form of Mason Mount and others. Reece James, the right side, Reece James assisted some of Lukaku's goals. So it will be tricky. I am almost 90% sure on keeping Lukaku, but let's see. And Firmino had a good day at the office in the last game for Liverpool. I'm not sure if Firmino will play, but I don't think like Klopp will suddenly bench him. I don't think like Jota will suddenly just come in when Firmino is in a good form. He's back after injury, so there is not really any reason. I mean, he needs that game time. So that's a change I may look to make Firmino in place of Lukaku. Other than that, I mean, Haaland and Lewandowski, the two Bundesliga strikers, tearing it up both in the league and Champions League. No surprise there. The midfield, I have gone with the informed players. Traore has scored, not scored, assisted in the previous two matches. I wanted Nkunku, but they were having a tough fixture in the form of PSG. So I wasn't really sure about that. I mean, Nkunku might as well score. I mean, he's just in such a good form. It doesn't feel like that the opponent is too much of a matter to him. So other than that, I have Grealish. Now, Grealish was rested in Man City's league game last day, so he's for sure he will start. There's no doubt about that, and I want a Man City asset considering they are facing Club Brugge. Martin and Kamavinga, my other two midfielders, are kind of. I mean, of course, like I don't expect them to score goals, but obviously, Champions League fantasy gives points for ball recoveries too. So I'm kind of banking on them to do that. And Kamavinga caught a return in first match day. So this is just wishful thinking, but I hope Kamavinga can do that because I don't have budget to spend too much on the midfield. I'm still keeping the midfield thin. This time also I'm focusing more on the attack and defense. Coming to the defense, I again targeted those fixtures. I specifically wanted the Bayern defense. Uh, I was thinking of going for Alfonso Davies, but Then I was like, Alfonso Davies did not hasn't really got any attacking returns. So I just went for Nicolas Sule, who was one of the cheapest options in Bayern's defense. Aspilicueta, I mean, he's the club captain. He will play. I mean, Chelsea defense also very rotation prone, and with Rudiger out, with Reece James also potentially getting an injury, there is no way Aspilicueta will be benched. Delhi, I think Juventus have regained their form again. They started off slow, but they defeated Chelsea. They're looking good at the back. So I mean, they defeated Roma also last day, kept a clean sheet. So I'm hoping for the clean sheet points from Juventus. And other than that, Dortmund, Munier has been really good this season. Like fantastic returns in both the two matches. So he was a no-brainer too. Bono, I did not want to spend too much on a goalkeeper. So Bono and Dest is the only 4 million goalkeeper playing. And Sevilla haven't been able to keep a clean sheet. But I hope Bono will do so. After all, they are facing Lille. I don't think they'll have too much of a chance to score against Sevilla. I hope they will keep the clean sheet. Another player I forgot to talk about is Sane. I wanted Sane at any cost. Now this was really tricky because there are really so many good options in the midfield, but I could only afford one high-priced midfielder since I'm kind of going with three high-priced forwards. So the choice was between Salah, Rashford, or Sane. Now, Rashford is definitely going to start in the Champions League, no doubt about that. And he, he will. I feel like Rashford will score. Kind of. I don't know if United will win the match, but I have a feeling that Rashford will score considering Ole's style of play depends on him running behind the long ball, the usual drill. So there is he can also be a good aspect, and Salah is just in insane form this season. I mean, he is totally going under the radar, but he is in insane form this season. He's just totally dancing among the defenders. But I am still. I think I will go with Sane just because it's Bayern Munich and Sane has provided returns in both the matches previously, and I want three Bayern assets in both in forward line, the midfield, and in the defense. So I ultimately kept out Salah and brought in Sane. I am specifically targeting this wildcard for the two fixtures because, as we know, the teams in match day 3 and 4 are the same. The same teams face off against each other. So that was also one of the reasons I played the wildcard this week. I wanted to target those fixtures specifically, and I'm pretty happy with my team. I may make some changes, but it will either be Lukaku or in I may shift out Lukaku and bring in a cheap forward and upgrade one of Martin or Kamavinga to a high price midfielder. But other than that, yeah, I am set on the team.
Yeah, I mean, the team is looking great, but the one thing is that Delict has been benched, I think, this weekend. And that doesn't mean that he will also be benched in the league match too. Was he benched? I think he was like he didn't start against Roma, as far as I remember. But I may be wrong. I'm not too sure about that. But anyway, Delict. I mean, I think if he is indeed, if he is truly rested against Roma, then I think he has very high chances of starting in the Champions League because he just came back from national duties, and it was kind of like a good move from the manager's side to rest his star players before a Champions League fixture. And like managers will be looking to wrap up the Champions League qualification to round of 16 by game week 3 by maximum game week 4. So yeah, I don't think Delict, I think he won't be rested in a Champions League game, so that's fine. About Lukaku, I mean, that's an interesting thing. I mean, I have him in my FPL, and these things aren't going exactly the way it's supposed to be. He isn't scoring against the opponents you hope that he would score. I mean, yeah, he scored a very good goal, like, in Nations League, but not, I mean, he isn't getting the service as I hoped he would have got, because I have seen many times that he has been ignored completely when he made those forward runs in running in those spaces. But Chelsea midfield opted to play the back pass again, to and again reshuffling their formation totally, and that's a huge issue currently. And as you said, like Mason Mount, players like Mason Mount being bring some dynamics in the game, and they opt for those I mean those direct passes, and hopefully if with there and Reece James, Mason Mount coming into the team, I hope that Lukaku gets more service than he's getting now. But apart from not getting service, he also hasn't been the most consistent in recent times. Because I mean, he scored a goal against Brentford, but I think he should have stayed onside there. But he ran a bit too early, and he went into an offside position way too early, and that's one of the issues, because I think he could be more prolific. He, even with the chances he's getting, even though the less chances, he should be scoring, considering the form he is in and the price tag he is carrying right now. I think he should be scoring those chances, and these are not half chances. Those are like a typical chances a out and out number nine gets. And yeah, the I hope that this is just like a temporary blip in the form, and I think he will again recover soon with good fixtures. I mean, he's facing Malmo in the Champions League, then he's facing some easier fixtures in the Premier League too from next week. So I hope he regains his form. And yeah, the fact about Sane is like like he has regained his form after being criticized a lot of that he isn't reaching the level he had shown in Manchester City. But like, under Nagelsmann, he is a very improved player right now, and he's starting most of the matches. He's even keeping players like Gnabry and Coman rotating constantly. But I think Sane is starting almost every match. So yeah, I mean, he's a good pick ahead. I mean, I was also tempted to go for a Bayern Munich midfielder, but the only problem is that Nagelsmann is rotating so much the midfield that it's a problem, because I really love Serge Gnabry, and but he is not starting every match. And Zane also, if I have that fear that if I take him now, and if he didn't start, then, and I have Salah in my team, so it will be kind of a, like, taking an L. So I have to observe for now. But I mean, there are other options like Goretzka, who is, I think, starting almost every match, but he's a defensive midfielder, and even though he presses a lot higher up and he almost goes into the opposition's box, he plays as a box to box and scores quite a few goals. But still, I think at his price range, there are better players in the form of Bellingham and Barella, who has better chances of scoring. So that's one issue I'm facing. And provided that I'm not playing the wildcard this week, I was also tempted to bring a Bayern defender. And yeah, Bayern, this is another problem, because Kimmich plays as a midfielder and he has been assigned as a defender. So it's kind of a let off, because at 6.5 he would have been a great midfield asset and he would have been irreplaceable in the team. So nothing can be done about that. But a 6.5 defender is kind of a tad bit too expensive. And about Davies, yeah, he hasn't been giving him many attacking returns. But again, like, it's like their group is like, they have 6 points out of two matches, and this will be their third match. And if they kind of win this match, they're assured of like a qualification to round of 16. So it's a good thing not to pick Davis right now because he might get rotated in later matches, and provided that we're playing the wild card, I think Zula is a, I mean, okay option, provided that he's, I think, the number one defender in the team, beside Upamecano. So yeah, it's a good team, and yeah, so that's it.
Yeah, let's see. And I will check on the Delict thing because I did not know that he did not start in the last match. I will check up on it and see if I can get any leaked early team news or something.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, now let's go over your team.
yeah. So my team, yeah, so I kind of made three transfers this week. I didn't want to play the wild card right now because I think my squad is balanced for now, and like I have an expensive asset in every department, one or even two expensive assets, and I didn't want to make a lot of changes. I brought in Bellingham in place of Kai Havertz. I think he will start against Malmo because he isn't starting a lot of matches in the Premier League, and he might start in the Champions League. But still, the form Bellingham is in and the fixtures they have, the rest of the remaining four fixtures, I think he's a better, any day a better option right now. Even if, I mean, Havertz has every possibility to start and score against Malmo, but if I have to look right down, like throughout the remaining course of the Champions League group stage matches, I think Bellingham is a better options right now. So I brought in Bellingham, and yeah, in defense, last week I played Limitless and brought Skriniar, who was fantastic against Shakhtar, and I didn't want to miss out on him again, even though Inter aren't the best right now going forward in the Champions League. They aren't really prolific. They haven't yet scored in the Champions League, but they are defensively really solid. And Skriniar, I think, is one of the, not one of the, I think he's the best defender in the squad. And yeah, I mean, I picking him was a no-brainer for me. And last transfer I and last but not the least, the transfer I made was Lewandowski in place of Cristiano Ronaldo. I think I don't need to further elaborate on Lewandowski. I mean, fixtures are on his side, the form is on his side, and yeah, so that's the thing. And rest of the squad is pretty much the same. In forward, Haaland, Mbappe, Lewandowski. I kept Mbappe because they're facing Leipzig in the next two matches, and I think this is the best chance for PSG to, I mean, recover their form. And provided Leipzig plays a very high line, and it's, I think this is the fixture. PSG should be scoring a lot of goals on paper. So considering that, I think Mbappe should be getting on the score sheet. And in midfield, I have Alvarez, Bellingham, Barella, Mo Salah. I mean, Mo Salah, I know he's facing Atletico, who is like a good defensive team, but the form Salah is in, I think the opponent really doesn't matter right now who is he facing. It's just about, I mean, he is a main. I mean, even though Firmino is scoring a lot of goals, start again, and Mane also scoring goals, but I think Salah is instrumental in every build up, in every goal, and he himself scoring some wonderful solo goals. So I think he is one of the finest players in the world, one of the best informed players in the world right now, and I will stick with him for this week. And if I have to see that how Atletico plays, because I mean, in La Liga they are unbeaten, but I don't think they are the most solid defensively. They are a bit shaky, but again, I think amongst all teams they are consistent defensively. So let's see how this matchup will be really interesting, because we know how the last matchup went between Atletico and Liverpool in the round of 16. So this is going to be, I mean, a very head-to-head match, Simeone versus Klopp again. And in defense, I have Guerrero, Skriniar, and Wober. In goal, I have Destanoglu again, he's the only 4.0 goalkeeper, and his opponent is Sporting. Besiktas is playing at home. So, and provided that Musso is playing against Manchester United, I will be starting Deschanoglu, and let's see. I'm not expecting a lot of points from my goalkeepers, so that's that. In defense, and in bench, I have Aspilicueta, who will be playing in on Thursday night, I think, and sorry, Wednesday night, and yeah, he will be starting him eventually. Saywald and Rosilon. So yeah, this is on. I have made three transfers: Bellingham, Skriniar, Lewandowski in, Ronaldo, Kai Havertz, and Acuna are out, and rest of the team is pretty much the same.
Yeah, I mean, even on your match day one, your team looked really balanced, especially because of that Salah pick. I mean, my
Yeah,
midfield had kind of been a bit thin, which is why I needed to play a wild card and bring in a premium midfielder. And Salah, as you said, I mean, yeah, Atletico Madrid are good defensively, but one thing we know of Liverpool is that they can break down a defensive side. They can break down those low blocks. That's how
exactly,
Klopp has coach them. So, and as you said, the round of 16 matchup previously between these two sides will also play in their minds. It will be kind of a grudge match for them. And form, I mean, Salah is in godly form. So I expect him to score. I don't expect the game to be a boring nil-nil or just 1-0 or something like that. I
exactly,
expect at least 2-1 or stuff like that. And other than that, all are like really good picks. Mbappe is an interesting one because I feel like PSG with the kind of firepower they have, they haven't scored a lot of goals.
exactly,
Like we expect them to score like so many goals, and mostly they have looked fantastic on the counter. But while breaking up a team, they haven't looked that convincing. But then again, as you said, RB Leipzig plays a high line. We saw how many goals there were in the match against Man City, between them and Man City. So it will be interesting to see how this one plays out. And Badela, I think it's good that you were speaking about Badela. He scored in the third place match between Italy and Belgium, and let's hope he can score in the Champions League for Inter too.
yeah,
And Skriniar also good, mainly because I think, I mean, Inter on the front haven't looked that convincing. I mean, in the league, yes, Lautaro Martinez and Eden Dzeko are scoring goals. Lautaro is scoring goals for Argentina in the national team. But I feel like in the Champions League, they have looked quiet on the offensive front. But in defense, they have looked very solid. I know they had considered in the first match, but still, and Skriniar is their main defender. So as we saw in the last match, there is always a chance for him if Inter play a more defensive game. There is a chance for him to get that man of the match and that additional 3 points. So I think that's a really good pick. And overall, I think the fact that you did not use the wildcard and you are saving it is a good move since your team was already balanced, just a few tweaks needed.
yeah,
And -4, I don't think it matters a lot. Three transfers, totally fine. And yeah, so I think that will be it for our third UCL fantasy video
yeah,
for match day. Hope all of you have a great game week, and we'll see you guys in our next video. Thank you for watching.
yeah. Thank you, guys.